hi there, Queens Public Access Television. This is a special edition for you. A Chat with Glendora is on 68 TV stations from Boston and San Diego. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to do a special program for each one of them? But you are special, Queens, and you are worth it. You're big. And public access is the one that tells you what to do. So here's your special edition, Queens. Peter likes his new doctor, but he's kind of worried that the doctor stores his hypodermic needles in a dartboard. And Ed was telling his friend, he says, when the doctor operated on me, he left a sponge inside. And his friend says, a sponge inside? That must be pretty uncomfortable. Ed says, no, just makes me thirsty. And how are you today? Is everything going well with you? If it isn't, I can tell you what to do to make it go well. I have the answer. Yep. And I'm going to show you where to find the answer. Doc, the patient said, I have a ringing in my ears. The doctor says, don't answer it. Two women were talking, and one says, did your dad die a natural death? And the other one says, no, he had a doctor. And the doctor said to the new patient, well, let's start with your medical history. Number one, do you pay your doctor's bills? Did the doctor give you a clean bill of health? Marilyn was asked. And she said, no, he won't do that until my check clears. Did you hear about the football team who turned down their invitation to the Sugar Bowl? Because why? The quarterback had diabetes. And some colleges, folks, are getting very, very strict. They will not give an athlete his letter until he can tell you which letter it is. One football fan fell asleep in the evening watching the game, and in the morning his wife shook him on the shoulder and said, wake up, it's 20-7. And he said, in whose favor? The eye doctor said to the Czechoslovakian athlete, can you read that line on the bottom chart? Can you read the bottom line on that chart? And the Czech said, read it, I know him. Are you 100% happy? If you aren't, I can tell you how to be. Or, let's put it this way, I can tell you where to go to find it. Where do you go to find that? Grocery shopping, cruises, trips, sports, snowboarding? No, you will not find it there. You will find it, folks. And please get this straight, and get it straight soon. By going alone in an inner sanctum in a sanctuary of your own, all alone, and listening to that voice inside of you. And that voice inside of you has all of the answers. That voice inside of you will tell you how to be 100% happy. Let the peace of God rule in your heart. That's what the Apostle Paul says in Colossians 3:15, 17. Let the peace of God rule in your heart. As you have been called to one body. We are one body. We are not separate. We are not competing with each other. I tell all these football jokes, but competing is all wrong. You're not there to show that you're better than somebody else. You're there to realize that we are all equal in our different attributes and talents and gifts. We're all very equal, and we're all here working together, and we're all making the universe better, and we're keeping it going and growing. That's our job, and that's who God is. So if you go by yourself in an inner sanctum of your own, have a little place of your own, and you just sit there and listen. I would have a little notebook, and I would write things down. Great things will come to you. I have a question for you. You know the passage that comes from the Jewish Torah? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Question. What is your heart? What is your soul? What is your mind? Do you know? Does anybody know? Where are the psychologists on this? They don't seem to deal with the basic. What is the heart, mind, and soul? What is thought? What is brain? What is the nervous system? Where are the answers on that? They're not even trying to answer it, I don't think. What is the soul? Do you know? What is the soul? It is the God that is inside of you, and it is the God that is inside of everybody. Amen. You want to hear a nice word? You know, I'm a great fan of the English language. I was an English major. It's a beautiful language. I'm very particular about hearing it used correctly. And I'm very strong on knowing its vast collection of words that are so precise and will tell people exactly what you mean, instead of using these tired, worn-out phrases like wonderful and super. But one word is particular. I like this. An accommodation is furnishing something that is needed. It is furnishing something that is wanted. It's affording ease to somebody, or relaxation, or refreshment, or convenience. It is favoring somebody. It is obliging somebody. I love it. Do you know what the deep secret is in life? Have you found it yet? I'm not going to tell you. You go alone and you will find it. I know the secret. There's another hymn. And we did that last week. Holy, holy, holy. There's only one thing that's holy, and that's helping others. The secret, folks, okay, I'll tell you. The secret is you get rid of self. You get rid of ego. You get rid of selfishness. And in its place, you put helping others. This is the basic bottom line. When all is said and done, only one thing matters. How did you treat others? Yesterday, how did you treat others? Who won the day? Selfishness, ego, or altruism? How did you treat others? That's the secret. So if you know the secret, why do you have to go alone? To get yourself to do it. Put away your ego. Put away yourself. Okay, so that's the morning meditation. Morning prayers. What do you do about prayer, Glendora? Never supplication. And never ask God for anything. What? No. But if you had a nice daddy, wouldn't you wanted something? Wouldn't you ask your daddy for it? No. Why? Because my nice daddy has already given me everything that I need. And I don't have to ask my nice daddy for anything, because my nice daddy will take care of it. Oh. Ask and you shall receive. No. You're going to receive it anyway. Knock and it will be opened unto you. It will be opened unto you, of course, if you get rid of the morass of ego and self-centeredness and selfishness. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Seek and you shall find. I'm 89 years old, and I have found that true every year of my life. Anything I sought, and that my conscience told me to do, and I could go out and seek it, it came. Now, it might come the next morning. It might come in a month. It might take 6 years. But everything sought in this life has been found. I have personal knowledge on that. I have personal knowledge of that. I still want to know, what is the soul? What is the mind? What is the heart? What is the brain? What is thought? I still want to know that. So Paul said, let the peace of God reign in your heart, rule in your heart, from whence you came, from one body. We are one. We're not in competition with each other. We're all together, working together, having a good time, keeping the universe going and growing. And then Paul said, let the peace of God rule in your heart, and you come from one body. And then it says, be thankful. Now this be thankful, it isn't be thankful for what you have. It's be thankful for what all of us have together. A blessing for one is a blessing for all. Mary Baker Eddy said that, Christian Science. A blessing for one is a blessing for all. So when you're thankful for what we all have together. For instance, the spin of the earth. You wouldn't want to be without that. 24 hours, 600 miles an hour. Precise. Set your clock by it. In fact, it is your clock. It is your clock. The Earth is a giant magnet, and it's spinning at 600 miles an hour. Think of the electricity that makes. How's that for a magneto, a generator? Woo! And that electromagnetism. That's somehow, that tells you a lot about what it is. That tells you a lot about what the universe is, what God is. That electromagnetic spectrum. The part, the visible part. Well, the infra parts, the infrared, the TV waves, the radio waves, and so forth. You can't see them, but you can hear them. Yeah, you can see TV waves. But you can see color. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Then the ultraviolets. And then the gamma rays. And I just have a feeling that the electromagnetic spectrum, so we can see this part of it that we just named, but I have a feeling it's somehow an ellipse, circular. And it goes from the highest frequency, which I think might be thought. Thought might have the highest frequency and the shortest wavelength. And then the frequency gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think possibly that the wavelength gets so big that might be gravity. And a wavelength for gravity might be 30 miles, and therefore we can't detect it. We don't know that gravity is a wave. What do you think of that? The spin of the Earth. 2/3 water. Aren't you glad that it isn't all water? And we wouldn't have any land, but aren't you glad for the land that we have? North America, South America, Africa, the Antarctic, Australia, Asia, Europe, and the Arctic. Aren't you glad we have land to live on? And not only that, the soil is so rich, it's golden. It's rich as gold. It's more beneficial than gold. The beauty that comes out of the soul. Excuse me. The beauty that comes out of the soil. Yes, beauty out of the soul. The beauty that comes out of the soil. Don't you love it? Apples, oranges, bananas, grapes, papaya, mango, coconuts, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, melon, watermelon. Such grand creations. And where does it come from? I bought a turnip, or Sue Casey, my neighbor, Christian neighbor and friend, does my grocery shopping for me. And she brought a turnip for Thanksgiving. And I put it on the windowsill. And one day I looked, and here's 2 green shoots. This poor turnip had been whacked and slashed and chiseled and dropped into hot wax. But it wanted to live. So we went out and bought it a great expensive pot, and we brought it potting soil, and potting soil is not dirt cheap by any means. And that turnip is this big now. Where did it come from? Where did all that come from? It just appeared. Well, we could have claimed that for many, many hours. But we were making the point of that soil and the beauty that comes out of it and the greatness. And my eyesight is getting dimmer and dimmer. Do you know what I have to face? I have to say to myself, this spring, I won't be able to see you. new leaves on the tree. I won't be able to see your beauty as you turn green. I won't be able to see the magnolia. And I won't be able to see the dandelions just covering the whole lawn with their golden, golden, beautiful yellow. I won't be able to see them this year. But I saw them for 88 years. So, we were talking about the beauty of the earth and the spin of the earth. And we got the gravity and the electromagnetism in the water and the soil and the air. Oh, that air. The air that the earth has. The ionosphere, the troposphere, the air that the earth has. You can't be without it more than 3 minutes or you're a goner. And if it wasn't for air, we wouldn't have sound. I'm wondering about electromagnetic waves. Do they need air? I don't think so, because they go from these astronomical light-year distances without air. Okie dokie. I want to tell you about a triumph. From 1955 to 1962, there was a television show called the SS Glendora and also Glendora Satellite 6, and it was a children's show. And it just made the hearts of these little children glow. 5-year-olds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. And it was a show that was for children, by children, and of children. And I saw to it that they really put on the show. Jimmy Talbot was 9 years old, and he was a volunteer, and I treated him like an adult, and I treated all the children like an adult. Well, it seemed to me that that flash of beautiful television in the 50s, when television was clean and fresh and new and live, there was no tape. It didn't come out until 1962. And television started in around 1948, as it is today. Actually, General Electric sent a signal from Schenectady down to the Queens, down to the fairgrounds, 1938, World's Fair. And they used Felix the Cat, because it was black and white and delineated. Well, it seemed to me that somehow or other we were beholden to get to you that there once was a live, clean, sweet, fresh, early television. It once was. It's gone now. It will never be again. There once was a Camelot. So we started making a documentary. Well, folks, the documentary footage is 7 hours. But we got it done. And we're going to make TV shows out of it. Not for you, I don't think, because yours has to be on SD card. But for everybody else, all my other TV stations who are, I would say 40 of them are DVD discs by mail, and the other 28 or so are by computer. They take the program by computer, right from our home computer. But that was something I wanted to tell you about. To God be the glory. The story is there, I hope. We interviewed people and we played some TV shows. We showed you the file and we showed you the picture. That was something I wanted to share with you. And there was something else, if I can read my writing. I think I wanted to share with you this great electromagnetic victory, that more and more TV stations, I wish Queens had done this, but they didn't, will take our program by computer, by file transfer protocol. And they get a server like Telview or FileZilla or Google Drive or Dropbox or CyberDuck, and all we have to do is put in their numbers and their codes and send them the program. It's something like email, but email isn't that big. And send them the program, and they just go up to the server and pick it up. Now this is great if I'm on Comcast, for instance, 4 TV stations, Carmel, New York, Danbury, Connecticut, Seymour, Connecticut, and Norwich, Connecticut, where the Mohegan Sun is, the gambling place. Each of those TV stations just goes up there and picks a show off and cablecasts it. Goodbye. May the grace of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit and the love of Jesus Christ be with you and all of those you love. Amen.